US carmaker General Motors says it's stopping production at 7 of its factories and laying off thousands of workers. The company says it wants to cut costs due to weak demand at home and the impact of President Donald Trump's trade war. GM says it's slashing its North American workforce by 15%. That means the loss of at least 8,000 jobs. Factories in the US states of Maryland, Michigan and Ohio and the Canadian province of Ontario will be closed down. GM also plans to shutter 2 plants outside North America, but it hasn't identified the locations. The company says the restructuring will result in $6 billion in savings annually. Investors cheered the announcement, sending GM shares up 6%. Well, despite the layoffs, GM's investing heavily in new technologies. The company says it's doubling spending on electric cars and self-driving vehicles over the next 2 years. Well, let's get more on this now from Giles Gibson, who joins us from Washington, D.C. Good to have you back on the program, Giles. So tell us, where are these job cuts going to hit the hardest?
Well, General Motors have described this as unallocating these production facilities, which is public relations speak really for stopping production. So perhaps some of these jobs could actually be moved to other locations or perhaps be retrained. But certainly there is now a very large question mark, in particular over these around 5,500 jobs in these 3 large assembly plants that are being affected by these changes. Those are in Detroit, Ohio and Ontario in Canada. However, it's not just blue-collar jobs on the production line that are being affected. General Motors are also saying that they want to see 25% fewer executives than they have at the moment going forward.
And what more can you tell us about why General Motors decided to announce such a major restructure of its business?
Well, there's a major external factor going on here, and that's that Americans are simply not buying the sorts of cars that are being made in these 3 assembly plants. That's cars like the Chevrolet Impala sedan. Americans instead are buying more SUVs and are buying more pickup trucks. There's also an internal factor going on here, and that's that GM are very open about the fact that they are trying to restructure their business for the future sort of car market. They want to move into more things like self-driving cars, for example, like electric vehicles, and also try and crack the ride-sharing market as well.
And back in June, GM issued an uncharacteristically blunt warning to the Trump administration, saying that it might have to slash its US workforce and production because of the Trump administration's trade tariffs. How badly might this announcement hurt Donald Trump himself?
Well, General Motors have said that these steel tariffs, these tariffs on imported steel that have been brought in by the Trump administration, have hurt them to the tune of around $1 billion so far. So that's certainly involved in this. But they are saying that this move is more to do with that restructuring move, that different car future that they're trying to look into. However, let's be honest, this image of these job losses, of these production facilities shutting down will certainly hurt Donald Trump politically, because of course he's promised to be the champion for blue-collar jobs like the car industry and like the coal mining industry, for example. However, the markets are reacting very positively to this news. As the announcement came out from General Motors, GM stock spiked by around 5 or 6%, although it has flattened off slightly since then.
Yes, and no doubt we can expect a response from Donald Trump soon. Giles Gibson in Washington, D.C., thank you.